let's take a deeper dive into who and what you're becoming. If you've come here to awaken and to know who you are awakening and you are knowing who you are. And that aligns you directly with a purposeful reason for being here. If you're not feeling that currently right now, that's okay. That's you're supposed to be feeling exactly what you're feeling right now. So what's great about that, it's all inclusive, but we are in an infinite universe, and that's what I want to remind us all about. I get nervous, so I itch out. In this infinite universe, I talked about one of my videos, the last few videos, whatever, I talked about how there are no absolutes. There are no absolutes because we're in an infinite universe. So who and what you are is baseline, possibility, infinite. Where you choose to place yourself, where your limitations of your thinking begins and ends is entirely up to you. And that is not a judgment. It's an ability to see that maybe even prior to watching this video, you had some absolutes, and those absolutes kept you stuck in a box, and that's why you haven't been able to see yourself more clearly, or it's had you stuck in a box and you're padding around feeling because the vulnerability piece is too intense. I mean, there's so many reasons why we create absolutes. I can tell you from my own experience that I had many absolutes, and they were to keep me safe, and it had me pressing against myself because I've placed all these people in the world to be my mirrors, and as they presented their mirror effect to me, I reacted in one way or the other to either keep safe or maintain absolutes. And it doesn't make you bad or good if you're doing this. It just makes this what the human experience has been constructed as, a construct. And we talked about construct in how you are creating your reality. If you can keep reminding yourself when you come to an absolute inside your world that I'm infinite. So if I take that construct and that belief system and say that's all there is to knowing myself, then I'm limiting myself. Then you can move beyond it. And this is the place in which I'm playing from. In addition to that, I cannot stress enough how the internal layers are affecting your external experience. I have many videos walking you through my process, my identification, my ability to see. I've gone through masculine and feminine being inside and bringing them into a healthy space of love and not wanting to fight one another. And then you can see all kinds of where my ego has tried to save me or tried to keep others at a distance. And as I identify and see it within myself, I identify and see it outside, so I can then change it within. As I identify and see it within myself, and therefore identify and see it out in the world, I can know at that point in which I want to change it within. I repeated that twice. So that is construct in a very simplified terminology. Is the construct is based on the mirror, and new information is based on inside, and that new information is yours to decipher, yours to choose, and yours to create a construct from, which we call manifestation, right? And we're all working through a lot of the same constructs, which have to do with ego, not feeling worthy, and having to know thyself beyond what the outside reality is telling us that we are, and what those limits are. There are no limits to who and what you are. We're in an infinite universe. There are no limits to who and what I am. We're in an infinite universe. And I don't need to create an absolute. So let's give you an example. I'm an angel, right? Or a fairy. I'm absolutely that. Okay, well, that's an absolute. But guess what? I'm all those things. And identifying with all those things in me expands my infinite self. Now, some are on a trajectory and they say, no, I am only Pleiadian. Great. That is a trajectory, and that is not a bad one. It is not an infinite one. It is an absolute. See? Absolute. Infinite. Bad or good? Fun to play with? So, what is coming online with this knowledge for me? Quite a few things. More clarity inside my heart space. And then identifying the signs in which I place outside of myself to identify the matchup. A few things that are occurring is I will think a thought and then the action will occur. Kind of like bending a spoon, right? So we say this, I'll pretend like this is the spoon. Is the spoon bent already, or is the mind bending it? And what I've found is, for me, when I go into doing something with, let's say, my mind, then I doubt that I have the capability, so I'm trying to figure it out. But then I don't see it as trying to figure it out. I see it as the way in which action is formed, but it's not formed that way. So that's been a bit of a challenge in the construct and the absolutes. But watching and getting to know myself and why I approach something the way I do gives me the freedom to learn something new, and that's infinite. Kind of fun. And I would say there was a guilt around this infinite thought, a shaming guilt of like, who do you think you are? And then there was what else did I see in that? And then there was a feeling like I can't do it. And those two pieces I had to confront within myself. And the last piece to this is that I am capable and willing to create anything that I want from my heart space, as long as I don't project that onto another and say they must be that for me. And I've done that too. So I had to learn that. So as always, these videos are to share who I am, as possibly a mere reflection of who you might be identifying yourself as. And in no way am I you, and in no way are you me. We're just playing the mirror game with one another, right? Sharing what we are discovering from this side of the mirror. And then that side of the mirror goes, oh, I identify with that. Ooh, gosh, that is similar to my reflection. Hello, mirror. You can see I'm having some fun with all of this. I'm having fun with Susan. I really like her a lot. Like, the more I get to know her after I've taken away shame and guilt and judgment, and I'm, by the way, still in the process of all those things, I just like her a lot. I just like her a lot. There's so many things I like about her. And that's a good feeling. So we're going to ride that out and call it tink. We're going to put the lid on again. And I'll come back with more information as I feel called to share. Peace.